How do you solve these tricky quadratic questions? The first one says use any method to solve. Once the question says use any method, then you can factorize. If you can use completing the square method, if you are good at it, then you can use the quadratic formula, since it says use any method. But in this video, we want to factorize this. So to factorize, the first thing we have to do is that you would have to multiply A by B by C for us to know what the product will be. So 2 times C would give 6. So now we need two numbers that will multiply to give 6 and then that we can add to give 7. So what two numbers can we multiply to give 6, and when we add both numbers it will give 7? That's 6 and 1. 2 and 3 are product of 6, but 2 plus 3 cannot give 7. So we would say we would have 6 and 1. So here we will have 2x squared plus 6x plus x, then plus 3 equals 0. Then we take them in 2. We group them in 2, this and this, then this and this, so that we have what is common to both. 2x is common to both, so that we have 2x bracket. If we take 2x from 2x square, we would have x left. Then if we take 2x from 6x, we would have 3 left. We'll close the bracket. Then what is common to both x and 3? That would be 1. So we have plus 1 bracket x plus 3, and this is equals 0. So this will be x plus 3, then 2x plus 1, both equal to 0. And don't forget the product rule. When two products are equal to 0, that means x plus 3 equals 0, or 2x plus 1 equals 0. So now this would give x plus 3 equals 0, or 2x plus 1 equals 0. So from here, x will be equal to -3, or x will be equal to -1/2. So that is the solution to this question. If you use quadratic formula too, you will get the same answer. Do you need personalized help? Click the link in the description to message me directly. So what is the next question? It says if one root of the equation x squared, let's first write the equation out. X squared, we have x squared, then -4x plus k equals 0. That is the equation. So it says if one root of the equation is double the other, find the value of k. Find the value of k. So what we want to look for is this, the value of k. And we were told that one root is the double of other. Now let's one root, let the roots be, let's use r. So if one root is r, the second root will be 2r, since it is double the other. So now that we have chosen r is one root, 2r is the second root. Don't forget that the sum of roots of a quadratic equation is -b/a, and the product of roots is c/a. Sum of roots is -b/a, and product of roots is c/a. So what is a? From the equation is 1, b is -4, and c is k. So now sum of roots, our roots, the roots are r and 2r. So the sum of roots will be r plus 2r, and that will be 4, -b/a. So this means that 3r equals 4 and r equals 4/3. Now also the product of roots will be r times 2r, and the product of root is what? C over A. This is C over A, where the C is K and A is 1. So the product of root is equal to K. This means that 2 r squared equals K. So now what is r? We've gotten r from this. Now we substitute r here to get the value of K. So this means 2 bracket 4 over 3 squared equals K. This would give 2 times 16 over 9 equals K. And this would give 32 over 9 equals K. So the question says we should find K. So we need to find the roots for us to know K. And now that we found the roots, we were able to find K. So K is equal to 32 over 9. So whenever you come across a question like this, all you have to do is to find the sum of the root, then find the product of the root, then you will be able to find K. And don't forget that the sum of the root of a quadratic equation is minus b over a, and then the product of root is c over a. Then you can equate both to get the value of K. The third question says find the values of k such that x squared plus kx plus 9 equals 0 has equal roots. And what does it mean for a quadratic equation? Let's first write the equation out. We have x squared, let's see, x squared plus x squared x squared plus kx plus 9 equals 0. And what does it mean for a quadratic equation to have equal roots? When a quadratic equation has equal roots, it means that the discriminant is equal to 0. And what is the discriminant in a quadratic equation? We get the discriminant for the quadratic formula, and the quadratic formula says minus b plus or minus the square root of d. Everything that is in this square root is the discriminant. And what do we have in the square root? B squared minus 4ac. So for us to have, for an equal root to, for a quadratic expression, for a quadratic equation to have equal roots, that means this discriminant is equal to 0. So once we know this, then we will be able to find the value of k. So from the equation, what is b? B is k. So that means we would have k squared minus what? Minus 4 times what is a? 1 times what is c? 9 equals 0. So that means k squared minus 36 equals 0. That means k squared equals 36. So if k squared equals 36, that means k will be equal to plus or minus the square root of 36, and that means k is equal to plus or minus 6. So this plus 6 and minus 6 are the values of k that makes this equation be an have an that makes this equation have equal roots. Now the fourth question says the roots of the equation ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0 are real and equal. Find the relationship between a, b and c. So this is a quadratic equation. We have ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. To find the relationship between a, b and c, since it has equal roots, it means the discriminant is equal to 0. That means b squared minus 4ac is equal to 0. That means b squared is equal to 4ac. And this is the relationship between a, b and c. The fifth question says we should solve this by completing the square. How do we complete the square? So when you want to use completing the square to solve a quadratic equation, all you have to do is first take the c to the other side, so that we have x squared minus 6x to be equal to negative 5. Now we will look for the square of half of the coefficient of x. You know the coefficient of x is b, so we'll look for of the square of half of the coefficient of x. So here the coefficient of x here is -6. So we have -6/2 square. That will be -3 square, and that will be 9. Once we get that, we will now add and subtract it to this left hand side, so that we have x squared minus x plus 9 minus 9 equals -5. You know that if we take the -9 plus 9 away, we still have the same thing, but we are solving by completing the square. So the next thing we will now do is that we will take these three together. We will have to take this -9 to the other side, and we will be working on these three terms, so that here now we would have x squared minus 6x plus 9 equals -5 then plus 9. When you factorize this now, when you factorize this, you will get x minus 3 power 2, and this will be equal to 4. So this means that x minus 3 will be equal to plus or minus the square root of 4. Then when 3 goes to the other side, we have x to be equal to 3 plus 2 or 3 minus 2. So x will be equal to 1, x will be equal to 5 or 1. So that is how to solve by completing the square method. You first take the c to the other side, the constant to the other side, then you find the square of half of the coefficient of x. You will add and subtract it to the left hand side, then you take the subtraction to the other side, then you factorize the left hand side. When you factorize it, you have something like this. Assuming we have plus here, then this would have been plus, then you simplify. So if you have any question, leave it in the comments and I will reply to your questions. See you in the next video. That's it for today. If you learned something new, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and drop your answers or thoughts in the comments. Remember, math gets easier the more you see it and say it. See you in the next video.